Hello, again, I'm Megan Francis, the Public Affairs Officer for the Cobble Tribes, and I've asked one of our tribal elders what he thinks about reclaiming the name. And I have Robert Watt here. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I'm Robert Watt from Insulam, and yeah, I really like the idea of them changing the name from the Cobble Tribe to the the 12 Confederate.
12 Confederated Tribes of the Big Water Nation.
Yeah, and yeah, just because I really do believe in power of words, right? And then that Colville, I don't know too much all about him, but I know he was with Hudson Bay and got very wealthy off the Hudson Bay and all of that resources that they went through. But I know also that he probably never set foot anywhere around this area here. So then, the powers of words, right? And I just don't think that's, a lot of people ask me when I travel around too, way off somewhere else, and well, what's Colville mean? And here, you gotta tell them some person that, doesn't really mean a whole lot to us, really, I'd rather have the resources back myself. So I really like that, and then, just the power of those words, like the confederacy of 12 tribes, that means 12 tribes, and, maybe at times we didn't all get along, but then we've lived in this area for so long now, and we all worked it out. We all can get along now. Maybe way back there, some of those guys were arguing, but the kids come along and get with these other tribes. So, I like that confederacy because we worked all those problems we had out, and we all live together now, and a lot of us are interrelated through different tribes, and that feels good too. When I go other places like on Coeur d'Alene, Spokane Reservation, I can say, oh, I got relatives here too, so I like that, just the power of the words, and I like that big waters being in there too, because then that's going to make our future generations and our children think about that, big waters, and the responsibility that goes along with that. Yeah, big waters, we got good. I love it because we do got a lot of water. We can jump into lakes and rivers and creeks, and the other part that's going to go along with that is I want it to be like that for our children too, to be able to jump into lakes and creeks anywhere. When I was a kid growing up, we get our water right out of the creek and have to pack it up, but that water had to be clean enough to drink. I still want it to be clean enough to drink and swim in and all that. So like I say, I like the power of words, right? So yeah, I'm all along with that. And I heard somewhere in there that they said Swanaikwa, talking about that, the Columbia River and all over there, and that's Sinaik's language. So I like that being in there too. And that as it goes along, our kids it'll help them to be proud of who they are, where they're from, their area they're from, and even their language, So yeah, I'm 100% for it, So.
Thank you, Robert. A good question, because you said a lot, and you said a lot about our relationship with the water and our community's relationships, because we are thinking about the 3 dialects and keeping that in mind, and so I'm really thankful for your thoughts today.
Yeah. And yeah, I really like that too, just like all the different languages, coming into it. The 3 different dialects, that covers lots of area right there. And yeah, I'm just really, I do enjoy, I'm 100% behind the name change, and for that reason, and just like I said, to honor all those dialects, which honors a lot of different tribes, a lot of different areas. And I like the word water being in there, because that's, that should always be front line center anyhow. When it comes to ceremonies, that's always that water's front row center, you know, I always noticed that, you know, then I want that in our kids and our people's thoughts too, you know, that, yeah, big waters, you know, we are blessed with lots of water. There's some areas, you know, they spend, when they speak over that water, they pray over it, they spend a long time on that, you know, because they don't got very much of it, and they know how real precious it is. And I don't want, you know, we got so much of it around here, you know, who knows, maybe we even get a little wasteful or something. Maybe sometimes if we don't spend a lot of time praying over the water, but we still do. But so I like that water being in there too, just, you know, that maybe people could notice that, how real precious it is. You know, I notice that even I go to different places and they can pray over that water a real long time, and some of our people, you know, just to be aware of it is a real good start, yes.
Yeah, so it's almost like instead of renaming ourselves, we are reclaiming our identity because we can create a relationship with what we call ourselves. Like you said earlier, when you have to describe what Colville means, it doesn't really have a connection with truly like your culture or heritage. But if we kind of like turn it a little bit and reclaim our identity and call ourselves something more that you can relate to, it's easier for you to carry on and know that our future generations will have that connection.
Yeah, and then same thing, it'll feel, I can explain it more when I'm way off somewhere, wherever, down south or up north or wherever, and somebody asks me, especially another Indian, well, what's that name mean? You know, I can at least have a, you know, a good talk, and you know, something good come out of it, and then as opposed to saying Colville and me not understanding, even knowing too much about that person, you know, trying to explain it to where the other things I could understand it and explain it and feel good about it too, feel good about Confederacy and how, yeah, we get, instead of fighting with all these tribes right beside us, you know, hey, we learned how worked it all out, and we can all get together now, and we can all, you know, make it a better world for our kids and for everybody around us, you know. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Cool.
I like the idea.
Thank you.
All right, limit.